how to find your research. First of all, I would recommend you to go to the different marketing associations. We have, for example, AMA, American Marketing Association. We have European Marketing Association. You have in France, IFM, Association Française du Marketing. You have in the US also AMS, Academy of Marketing Science. You have the Marketing Science Institute in the US. So all these associations are doing regularly every 2 years, brainstorming about the hot topics in research. How this is done? This is done generally with professors, so academia, and practitioners. They come together and they do brainstorming about hot topics in research. This is very important because this is an indicator for us to which direction we should orientate our research. That is why it's important to have this feedback from managers, and that is why these hot topics are reformulated every 2 years. And so go to the websites of these associations to find the hot topics. And actually, the hot topics from the MSI, Marketing Science Institute, are turning a lot around technology marketing. So impact of technologies. Naturally, you find artificial intelligence, you find IoT, you find service robots in marketing strategies and consumer behavior. How do these technologies impact marketing strategies? How do they impact consumer behavior? Other hot topics, the role of marketing to create well-being for humans and society. So you see well-being is one of the hot topics formalized in what we call transformative consumer research or transformative service research. Another hot topic is accountability of marketing and impact on marketing strategy. I told you in CRM about the measurability of marketing actions on individual behaviors and customer lifetime value. What does this bring financially through customer equity is one hot topic in marketing. Customer engagement and loyalty is still in the hot topics. How co-creation, how to engage customers, what are the antecedents of customer engagement, and actually having just opening bracket the research about loyalty programs. Do loyalty programs bring more customer engagement? So this is another hot topic. Open innovation, customer co-creation, consumer empowerment, still hot topic. Omni-channel management, it's another hot topic. How to deal with customers who are surfing on the internet and buy offline, or look at products offline and buy online. How to make the customer journey fluent? What is the optimum strategy between offline and online? Should we give more online or more offline or both? So this is another research priority, dealing more with retail strategies. And a new business model in the digital world. What are the business models for tomorrow? Which is another. Before doing a thesis in marketing or before doing a research, it would make sense to find ideas from these hot topics and try to position yourself in it. And then on these websites, you also find literature giving you a first input about the topic. Our other advisors do the literature review. Read to find your topic. Other ideas might come from companies, universities, organizations. And so when you're doing your internship, you might also get an idea about the topic during the internship. Because managers have ideas, and if you're doing things related to your internship, it's even better. So in most cases, unfortunately, it does not work, because a lot of firms are more looking at what you're doing practically for the internship, and less what you're doing for your master's. But I had some positive examples where students, for example, 2 years ago, a student was recruited Henkel in Germany, and she did her master's thesis about experiments with colors in product design. So it was an experimentation, bringing a lot of input to Henkel. It was for shampoo, and she had a very good master thesis with company data and experiments she did for Henkel. And she was finally recruited at Henkel in Hamburg, and is still there. And so this is one example. And so if you have the opportunity to get ideas, or if the company offers you a master's thesis, go ahead. That's my advice. So when starting your internship, you might ask your supervisor, even now, if you have already found your internship, do they have topics they would like to work you on? But it should not be a competitive analysis. This is not a master's. It's not a theoretical problem. So unfortunately, a lot of supervisors will say, okay, do a competitor analysis, but or SWOT analysis of our sector. No, it should be related to a theoretical topic. Clarify if research already exists. Do a conversation with your supervisors and generate your literature review. Finish with 3 to 5 target questions. The idea is that you don't have a precise question now, but you will have a couple of questions, and one of them you will choose. Less is more. Focus and do not try to answer everything. And don't choose too large topics. It should be very focused. And always ask yourself, what is the manager and theoretical contribution? What is the gap you want to fill? The research question should not be too large. For example, the impact of e-commerce and digital marketing. Now, that is a question you cannot answer, right? It's too large. Right? So you should have sub-questions, very detailed questions. And research does not mean that you have to give an answer to everything. It's like a puzzle. Quite frustrating. When doing a puzzle, generally you finish the puzzle and you have the overall picture. When doing research, you only a very small part of the puzzle. And the more focused your research is, the easier it will be for you to answer this. Right? So don't commit the error to give an answer to everything. That's why research is cumulative. Right? That is why we're doing a lot of research, because we know that every single study only brings a partial view.
So by replicating studies and by focusing narrowly on one precise research question, you can more easily handle a research. So it makes no sense to formulate too broad questions and to find no answer to these broad questions. So formulate close and narrow questions to which you can find an answer. I would like to demonstrate that with my research about loyalty programs. So I've been working now for more than 20 years on efficiency and effectiveness of loyalty programs and customer relationship management tools. And with every research, I only answered a very narrow research question. So even if I want to know a lot about loyalty programs, with every research, I focused on one narrow research question. For example, are loyalty programs efficient? How to optimize them, for example, with rewards. And finally, with all these small sub-questions, you should answer your overall research question with which you want to give your theoretical and managerial contributions.
Good questions are formulated with, for example, what, how, why, what happens if trust increases, how loyalty programs impact consumer behavior, why do they impact consumer behavior? That's through rewards, for example. You should give some sub-questions and avoid to be too large. Avoid unclear questions, fake questions which have a disguised answer. For example, loyalty programs do influence purchase behaviors, don't have influencing questions. Here are some examples.
Descriptive questions. The key question is, what is the case? What does the reality looks like? For example, how does AI influence marketing? How rewards influence purchase behaviors? Or explanative questions. Why is something the case? Why do customer loyalty programs influence buying behaviors? Which rewards influence buying behaviors? Does personalization increase the sense of privacy concerns? How does personalization influence buying behavior? And finally, to choose the topic, look at the research feasibility at the conceptual level. So use concepts that already exist or new concepts that fit to your research. Don't try to invent things because it's complicated and time consuming. From the methodological point of view, use methodology that you master, that you can manage in terms of statistical software. And so if you master SPSS, use SPSS. If you master R, use R. If you master Swings, use Swings software. Look at material and financial points. So be aware of any obstacles coming from material point of view or financial point of view that are too costly. Temporal feasibility, so the compatibility between your proposed planning to write your thesis and your own professional and personal agenda. Is it manageable? So be realist. And finally, anticipate risks anticipate stakeholders' reactions on your subject. For example, if in your firm or in the firm somebody is opposed to the results or your research, so be aware about these reactions. And this is a grid to help you to choose your subject. You have different criterions, for example, originality and contributions, your personal interest, professional interest, the proximity with your work, so synergies, the supervisor's interest, temporal feasibility, data collection feasibility, method feasibility, and conceptual feasibility. And for each topic, you can rate these different criterions on a scale between 1 and 5 in order to find the subject which fits best to all these different criterions. But the most important criterion should be originality and contributions, also personal interest. So this is a grid you can use to choose your topic. Finally, from the research team, what's the research question? So within your research topic, you will eventually choose a main theme and relevant sub-research questions. For example, from subject loyalty program usage, you come to the theme cultural facets of loyalty program usage, and the research question, how does culture influence the loyalty program usage? Or another example, from the subject chatbot adoption, you come to the theme factors and antecedents that influence chatbot adoption, and your research question would be which cognitive, affective, and social factors influence chatbot adoption.
Research looks now like that. You're here today in the funnel, and in 3 months you will have your focused research question. So the aim is to come from a general approach to a very focused approach where you have one precise research question.
One example, you want to work on the research area total quality management. Then you would select the aspect of research area. For example, the impact of total quality management on work or on the service domain. And then you will formulate a research questions. So for example, does total quality management has a positive or negative impact on just job satisfaction? Does the effect of TQM on job satisfaction vary by level in the organization, from the workers to the employees or to the managers? Does TQM disrupt traditional methods of working in firms? Do workers try to resist total quality management? And if so, how are they successful? Does total quality management lead to empowerment or disempowerment? And finally, you will select one or several sub-research questions. For example, does total quality management have a positive or negative impact on job satisfaction? And does the effect of total quality management on job satisfaction vary by level in the organization? And so this is one example of the funnel technique. So you come from an overall research area to different aspects and a bundle of research questions from which you select one or two research questions for your final research.